There's something I wanted to talk about, and this is an incident that happened to me with the X5M. Now, sure that those of you who've seen my previous videos, you like these stories. So, here we go. I think I was running a 93 octane tune. I just switched it over and I was trying this new octane booster. I was trying to see if I could successfully run this booster without any knock. So I was like, I'm gonna go out to the back road, I'm gonna do some data logging, I'm gonna do some polls, and we'll see like if there's any knock that's gonna show on the app. So before we get the app started, I was just, getting the car kind of used to, run the fuel through the system. And Mustang GT, we call him an intersection, he come up behind me, and I thought, okay, all right. And I needed a clear view, and I was going to go slow and wait, but then I was like, I hate people behind me. It's like, I'm just going to find a different location. So I decided, I'm going to punch it. I'm just going to pass this Honda Pilot. I believe it was a Honda Pilot. And I look back, and that Mustang was in pursuit. And I'm like, oh, he wants to play. So we turned on the road, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to wait, because it's not fair for me if I just take off and give him the run. I want to see if he can get in front of me, and if I can either stay with him or pick him back up. So we make the, when we come minutes down the road, we make a right turn, and I kind of cruised a little bit, and I saw him was kind of dipping out. He wanted to pass, and I kind of moved over, kind of like let him go. I hit the brakes, let him pass me. But as soon as he passed me, he hammered it, and I jumped on it too. And that X5M had held his ground, if not started to pull. Now I don't think he expected me to pull as hard as I was, because when he was revving it out, he shifted, and when he shifted, he was kind of like, oh, it's on, and you can see, we can hear it, and you can see where it jumped down again, and on the next gear change. But yeah, I would say it was pretty good for a short distance. I mean, I did end up pulling back on him really pretty quickly once he let off. And then we had traffic, and at that point, it was like, well, there was one car. I was like, I'm not gonna do all this mess here. I'd let him go. I'll tell you something else. I did end up getting my feelings hurt, and it took me a little bit to admit. It took me a little bit to make this video. I'm very competitive, and also taking a loss. I mean, I will admit when someone's faster, and this vehicle was clearly faster than me. But let's put it this way: I flat out just got humiliated. It wasn't even close. I have been wanting to catch a Trackhawk forever, and I'm like, where are they? Where are the Trackhawks? It seems like when I'm driving around and not, in the Civic or something, they're everywhere. But when I'm in the X5M or something, or M3, they're hiding, right? I did have one Trackhawk try messing me in M3. He gave me one or two short pulls, but when he saw that the M3 was already jumped on him real quick, it was even a race, let's just say. Like he jumped on it, I jumped on it, and M3 started to come back on him. So I couldn't get that on video because my nose was already ahead of him. However, this one here, now I'll tell you about this one. This one here happened to me. Lex and I were coming back from a car dealership, the Audi dealership. We looked at the SQ5, and I had another video about that. But I was passing her, I said, oh, there's a Trackhawk right there, because it was all purple wrapped and it had D-badge, but I just happened to notice the yellow brake calipers. So I noticed SRTs have red, Trackhawks are yellow. So when I saw the yellow pop out to the wheels, I'm like, oh, that's a Trackhawk for sure, even though he's got it D-badged. So I'm like, all right, but of course, we're in traffic. It's not like we're gonna get a cool run, plus I got my wife with me, and this is not gonna happen. But of course I passed by, he comes in behind me, and then I'm like, okay, cool. Two fast cars wants to cruise together, that's perfectly fine with me. So at one point I let him over because he got behind me kind of close. So I moved over to the right lane. He passed me, I get behind him, I stay behind him for a bit. He slows down again, so I moved back over to the right lane, and he's keep pacing me. I'm like, oh, he wants to do something. So I click over, I hit sport mode, and I'm thinking something's gonna happen. And right then I hear just the sound, that monstrous, that sound. He is on it. And right when he's on it, my foot went to the floor as fast as I could. And you know, BMW, the kickdowns on the M's are pretty good. Actually, any BMW, the kickdown is decent for an automatic. And I would say the X5 kicked down maybe 1 second after he did. And I was on it. But even when I was on it, he was pulling me like I was sitting still. It was just like, okay. And I thought, you know what, that sucks, because when someone gets a jump, it's hard to, unless you have a lot of power, it's hard to pull them back in. Like, you see my video with the X5 50i versus the M. And you see what happened when the 50i got the jump. It took the M a little bit, M came back. Now you saw what happened when the M got the jump, the 50i could not keep up. It was just, you know what it is. And then the same thing, like if I run into like a Camry or something with the M3, the Camry's gonna get the hit and I'm immediately gonna pull him back, right? So anyway, I thought, all right, Trackhawk got me. We know we're like similar power. If he gets a jump on me, I'm not gonna be able to pull back on him. But let's get it going again. So no, me, I was like, I know where it opens up. I'm gonna catch him again. I was supposed to get off at the highway at a different exit, and I said I'm gonna take the next exit because I want to make sure I catch him, and I want to do him like he did me, right? I'm gonna catch him off guard. So I went by him, flew by him real quick, and then slowed down like I'm gonna do something. And I hear him downshifting. He's rum, rum. As soon as he downshifted, I took off before he was fully ready. But I guess he was quick with the throttle because immediately I was on it and he was on it. And it was like it was like a rubber band. Like he just quickly just pulled me back in. And then of course, like she told me, she's like, you know, traffic ahead. I had to slow down, which I was gonna slow down anyway, but you know, she was getting concerned with that. I backed off. It was a short pull. It wasn't really any room, but if we had the room, I would say probably if we continued to about 100, maybe 110, he would have came around me. And that's what the jump I had. So I'm gonna say this Trackhawk could have been close to 1,000 horsepower, just to the fact that how quick. Like I said, it takes a lot of power. The X5, even with the M3, if the X5 gets a jump on it, M3 isn't gonna pull the X5 that quickly. But I don't know. What do you guys think? What are your incidents? I know that there's a few people who've commented that they've ran to Trackhawks with their X5M and they beat them when they're stock or like they modded it in. My first encounter with one, I got my ass handed to me. Let's put it that way. I can't. There's no way around it. I just got killed, and yeah, took another one. These things keep happening to me. You know, first it was the Tesla Model 3 dual motor caught me when I was stock. Now I'm tuned. I'm getting these modded Trackhawks getting me. You know, I'm just going to have to start. I'm just going to have to go ahead and just go to stage 2. I'm going to have to go ahead and do the upgraded turbos and you know, just throw everything at it. As a matter of fact, just do it at every car so I'm never caught off guard. But you know, you could easily do that. You could easily fall into that game, but you gotta think too. no matter what you do, there's always going to be someone faster. And if you're always trying to be the fastest one, it's going to be a very long, expensive road for you because there's always be someone faster. Even Model S Plaid, I'm sure that I've seen a few videos of some modded McLarens and some Audis have been pulling those Model S Plaids even at like, you know, their sweet spot 20-mile-an-hour rolls and things have been getting pulled. And you know, so it doesn't matter what you drive out there. It just sucks that I was hoping to run into a stock Trackhawk because I'm 100% sure that Trackhawk wasn't stock. But if you enjoyed the video, I'm just rambling right now. If you enjoyed the video, you know, give me a thumbs up. I think when next season, I think I'm gonna start doing is actually getting some official runs in. I like to hit the drag strip. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do any launch controls at the drag strip just for the sake of my transmission. But I would be curious to know how I would fare against other cars at the drag strip. Hopefully there's some Trackhawks there, or there's something that I could run there. I don't know. I'll see what the schedule's like at the Sonoma Raceway or Sacramento Raceway. And maybe I'll bring the M3 out there a couple times and go from there. I mean, these cars aren't really drag cars. They're not really, the straight line speed is there, but that's not what they're designed for. It's the whole package, it's the handling, right? So, but I think it'll just be fun to go.